break. We're going to get started this week with lab, like right from the get-go, and go really quickly through the first half of the semester, and then that'll be over, and we'll split off, and some people will do projects, and some people won't. So it goes like, we hit the ground running, and we go really quickly. So that's why I've started just laying our weeks out here. So this week in lab, we're going to do experiment 18. So that's what I'm going to talk about as far as an experiment for lab this week. I'm going to jump down to here, and I'll point this out again on the syllabus. In 2 weeks, your experiment 18 report is due. Experiment 16 is also due. Experiment 16 is basically for you to read and look over, and then there's some worksheets at the end of it. We won't do any of that in the lab. That's something that you're going to do outside of lab. So you can even start this week if you want to working on it. It has to do with NMR. So in lecture, you've started NMR, and you're going to keep doing that for a few more days. So whenever you feel like you're ready to start working on the worksheets, you may. I will cover some of that in lab lecture next week, okay? But we won't do anything actually in lab. So in lab next week, you're going to be doing experiment, well actually, sorry, here, I'll jump back up here. So this week, experiment 18 in lab. You need to have your pre-lab for experiment 18 in your notebook before you come to lab this week. So I'll touch on the pieces that you need for experiment 18. Next week, we'll do experiment 17 part 1, but it's a 2-week experiment. So in your notebook, when you come to lab next week, you want to have the pre-lab for all of experiment 17 in your notebook, all right? And then we will have our first quiz next week. So we're not giving you a quiz this week. Our first quiz will be next week, all right? And then in 2 weeks, we'll finish up experiment 17, have another quiz. Experiment 18 and 16 are due. I'll touch on this here in a little bit, but here's open lab times. Like last semester, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. But also Tuesday afternoons, 12:30 to 3:30 p.m. because we don't have an afternoon Tuesday afternoon lab, okay? So I'll talk about that here in a second with the syllabus. So the first thing I'm going to go through, the syllabus is in the back. If you didn't grab it on your way in, grab it on your way out. Yellow copies in the back looks like this guy, okay? And I'll put it also on Moodle for the 256A, section 11A site here. Get all sorts of extras here.